Hey, I'm back again with another video. I need to stop doing this, y'all. I'm telling you, I need to look into the camera and talk to y'all. I be looking up here, and I know I look retarded, but like, actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. Retarded. Anyways, I be looking up here, and I don't look here. I gotta look at y'all like dead in y'all souls and be like, look, I don't care what you comment about me in the comment section. Obviously, me speaking on it means I care. Stop, y'all. That hurt. It hurts, man. Y'all hurting my feelings, man. Oh my God, leave me alone. Like, anyways, I don't care what none of y'all racist people gotta say. Hop in the comments, and I told y'all I'll go live on Saturdays. So come up with all your hate and bring it ready for a debate. And that rhyme, that should be the saying. Come with all your hate and get ready for a debate. Come with all your hate and get ready for a debate. Oh, yeah, like just start doing that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyways, so we got James Baldwin and Paul Weiss. I'm gonna say his name wrong just cause he's white. But Paul Weiss, heated debate on discrimination in America, the Dick Cavin show. You notice like a lot of dudes like that are radio talk show hosts are named Dick. That means something. They must be dicks. But anyways, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below if you're angry. Comment down below if I triggered you, and write me a story that I'm not gonna read. Y'all be killing me with that. I be like, God, I can't read all this. I be trying. Like, just write a little simple paragraph that say you stupid, ugly, whatever you want to say, and then just like, you know, like a simple paragraph. It don't have to be a story though. Like, God, man, I be trying to get my girl to read them. I be like, man, baby, you read these things. She be like, I ain't doing all that. Cause my girl sassy. We do that. I know. Anyways. All right. Let's get to the reaction. No question. Let's see. Put your headphones on, baby.
And someone who are through here. Professor Paul Weiss, a Sterling Professor of Philosophy at Yale, and I guess I do have a copy of the book that he recently wrote with his son. It's the one you may have read about in Time magazine called Right and Wrong. It's a dialogue between father and son. His son is here and will be out later. He's a lawyer, and Mr. Weiss is, did I mention this, Sterling Professor of Philosophy at Yale? You've seen him on the show possibly before. He's the most interesting teacher I had at Yale because he didn't lecture. The class was fluid. He answers questions as they're fired at him, and I'd like him to meet...
God, man, this man's voice. Oh, all right. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'll turn this on so we can have a good conversation. He needs to go to James Baldwin. James Baldwin was a great speaker. Y'all will like him. I don't know who Paul Weiss is, though, yet. Because he's white, I'm going to keep messing his name up. I know that doesn't say Wheezy. I'm just saying it because I know it's going to trigger a lot of you white conservatives in the comment section. Like, y'all want to put them knuckles up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what? When I get further on here, we could do live boxing matches. And I don't want to say that on camera because I know y'all going to be in the comment section offering me rounds. Like, D. Okay, like, I'm messing with y'all today. Let me just go ahead.
If you haven't met him yet, and to meet Mr.
Bro, his voice, man.
Here's Dr. Paul Weiss.
Oh, you know this is an old TV show. Paul Weiss probably gone now.
Were you able to listen to the show backstage?
A good deal of it, but then I was behind the bus.
Yes.
So I heard only some of it.
Did you hear anything that you disagreed with?
I disagreed with a great deal of it.
I'm put you close.
I am one of
if
the
you're talking
smallest
to you.
admirers of intent, that is, and of course a good deal I agree with. But I think he's overlooking one very important matter, I think. Each one of us, I think, is terribly...
Think about it. You could smoke a cigarette on TV and just drop the ashes right there. You know how mad I'd be to clean that up? I'd be like, why is he allowed to do that in here? Take that outside. You gotta smoke outside everywhere else? You can't just roll up a cigarette in a restaurant and just start puffing bleezies. Like, nobody will smell all that. Come on, man. Come on, Baldwin, what you doing? I ain't gonna lie. I like James Baldwin, but he a funny looking dude. He a funny looking dude. All right, let's keep going, man. This is supposed to be a political reaction.
There's all kinds of obstacles.
I'm making it comedy.
Religion or color or size or shape or lack of ability, and the problem is to become a man. For each one of us, I think all of us talk about poverty, race, prejudice. It's important, vital, but it's not really at the center. It deals only with the means in the way, or the obstacles in the way of becoming something much more serious and important. That is, to be someone on in yourself to become a man. It's a difficult job. It takes a lifetime.
I don't disagree with that at all.
I didn't think you would.
But I take that for granted. I really do.
That you see, but by taking it for granted, you emphasize always the obstacles in the way, and perhaps you have it in mind. But I think your hearers very often forget that you have another objective in view, the one we both agree upon.
I get so tired of white people trying to tell us how to feel about what we've been through in society. I get so tired of it, man. You should feel this way. You should feel it. You should shut the hell up. Straightforward.
Is what I'm talking
I
about.
don't think was asking that question before when he asked you, aren't you being more extreme? Is there some other end? Is it all hopeless? In one sense, it is not hopeless. In another sense, it is. It's hopeless in the sense that nobody ever attains the state of being a full man. But it's not hopeless in the sense that every one of us has a problem which he can resolve more or less even in himself. These obstacles are terrible, I agree with you, but they're not insuperable if you know what you're looking for.
But what I was discussing was not that problem, really. I was discussing the difficulties, the obstacles, the very real danger of death thrown up by the society when a black man attempts to become a man.
If there's another important thing with that, I suppose you do agree. All this emphasis upon black man and white does emphasize something which is here, but it emphasizes or perhaps exaggerates it, and therefore makes us put people together in groups which they ought not to be in. I have more in common with a black scholar than I have with a white man who's against scholarship. And you have more in common with a white author than you have with someone who's against all literature. So why must we always concentrate on color or religion or this? There are other ways of connecting men.
I'm not talking about that. I
I know
understand
you're
that. I understand that. But as we sit here now, by the will of the people, a man named Ronald Reagan governs California. And the terms I'm using, you must understand, are not the terms that I myself might choose. I'm not interested in whether a person is white or black or green or yellow, but I'm talking about the force of the state which at this moment is oppressing black people all over this nation. Not all. The force of the state which is oppressing every black man in this nation.
You write freely, don't you? Is black getting in your way as being a writer, an author? Yes, it is. I'd like to know how black gets in the way of
What'd you say?
Yeah.
In the first place, now you put me a little bit on the spot. I don't like to discuss myself or my
All
work.
right, let's not talk about you. Let's talk about some other black author or white author.
No, let's not do it that way. I'll tell you what I mean. I'll use myself. No problem. It is the first difficulty then is to, and you will say this is true to everybody, but I unlike you, all right? In the first place, I have to deal with the fact that my history is inaccessible to me. That my history in this country begins with the bill of sale.
Your individual history?
My name is Baldwin. It's an old English name.
My name is Weiss. It has been derived from somebody else. Maybe my great ancestor was white-haired or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
you've had the Psalms of David.
I don't have them. I don't think I've read them in 10 years.
That doesn't matter.
Or 20. I couldn't tell you one of them.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. One's got to face this fact. Let us say we're both black, right? We both get here at the same time, right? You come from one tribe, I come from another. You speak one language, I speak another. We cannot talk to each other. We don't know what is happening to us. We're confronting a white man with a Bible and a gun and a cross. And what you have to do, if you're going to live, is accept this stranger, this book you cannot yet read, under the gun. Wait a moment. You asked me a question, I'll do my best to answer it.
Yes, but you want to give me a chance to say something.
Yeah, but one moment. I really don't. I'm not trying to.
Can I do something even more unforgivable because of due to the mechanics? If we don't pause now, we may not be back for a while. So we will, and then we'll be back. Stay with me. Gentlemen, where were we?
I was in the middle of the Psalms of David.
Yes. Contributing to me somehow.
But I was trying to make a point. The point is this simply: that one began here with a history, an identity, not only inaccessible, but also systematically and deliberately denied and destroyed. When the Moynihan Report talks about the breakup of the Negro family, and it occurs to me as a very bitter kind of comment on the people who did their best to break up that family. Now to blame the family for being broken up.
Yeah.
And to suggest
He just said the people that did their best to break up the family now blame the family for being broken up. Speak, Baldwin.
They wasn't doing that by what I read. But
there are no male father images when you have a child. Big news.
what are you trying
In
to
the first,
describe?
in the first place, that's not as true as Moynihan would like to think. Otherwise, there would be none of us here at all. The point is that, then, come back to where I was. One has to really excavate out of the absence of a history, and then out of the presence of a history which is absolutely indescribable. You must remember that I was taught, and black children who were there being taught, that no black people ever contributed anything to history, that I was not much better than an ape, and I was lucky to be discovered and after by white people.
Mr. Baldwin, but if your case were carried out all the way through the way you're putting it, it'd be hard to understand how you ever wrote a word. After all, you're a distinguished novelist. You must have had time of freedom. Somebody must have paid attention to it. You must have been reviewed objectively as an author, not as a Negro. Nobody gave a damn whether your great ancestor had been born or sold, but they treated your literature or your work in its own terms. That's where you wanted it. That's where you had it. That's where you're having it now. What are you criticizing? What are you objecting to? That there are terrible injustices, everyone admits. But you're generalizing it, you're rigidifying, you're solidifying it in such a way as if there's no way out. You're an exhibition of the fact there's a way out.
Am I?
Yes.
There's absolutely no way to talk about what actually has harmed us because they reflect it back on us and say it's our fault we're being harmed. Oh, God, man. That dude literally just sat up there and made no sense. And Baldwin just told him exactly what it is.
You're something else. You're not just the incarnation of blackness, you're an author. That's why I think of you.
I beg your pardon. I'm also the oldest of 9 children. All of them are black. I'm one of the few survivors of my generation, all of whom the people I'm speaking of are black. Very Jimmy Baldwin or Sammy Davis, Harry Belafonte or Sidney Poitier. There are a whole lot of people you've never heard of, at least equally talented, perhaps more talented, who did not manage. I'll tell you how one makes in this country if you're black. You have to decide somehow that you are not going to be controlled by what white people think of you.
What anybody thinks of you, you have to think of yourself, and let's be true to yourself.
I don't care what Senator Eastland thinks about me,
Who cares?
or Ronald Reagan thinks about me, but they have the power to destroy my life and the life of my children, and this is given them by the will of the state. I'm not talking about myself as a writer. Of course I'm a writer. I know that. I know what produced me, too. And it was not simply Charles Dickens or any of your colleges. It was also Bessie Smith and Ray Charles and my father, who was a preacher, and my mother, who learned how to sing.
That's cool, then.
Dang, man.
What I am
I can't even pause it because this is good. Whew.
trying to say is that the gap, the distance placed between myself and my own assessment, my own experience, was much greater than it would be for any white person in this
I
country.
don't believe it.
I know you don't believe it. I'm not complaining. I'm not copying a plea. It's not a special plea. I'm trying to make you see something. Pretend I'm an
Child
actor.
starts from scratch. They are helped in various exterior ways in order to be able to find themselves. But the finding of themselves goes within. To become a writer is something that you have to struggle with by yourself, in yourself. And all these other things are conditions and problems, and I grant you had more than other people
I
have.
didn't even say that. I said they were different. I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only. One reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong. I might have gone to Timbuktu. I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there.
I want y'all to pay attention to this too. Most of the best black scholars, or most of the people that actually, kind of brought the black community together, spoke French. I know that sounds it's just interesting to think about. They spoke French, or they were part of a French providence in some way. They were either English or they were French. I don't know. I just think that's interesting because it says a lot about where we are today all over the planet. Says a lot. Especially the ones that aren't in Africa. It's crazy.
That it already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself. You have to be able then to turn up all the intent of which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody.
Everybody, no matter who, no matter what his attitude, is bigoted.
I did not say that.
Well, has an attitude, it's on his face, is in the way of every force.
You're asking me to do something impossible. You're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know as Malcolm X once put it, it's the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians, and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their union.
Wow.
I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks I give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
Damn.
So I take 30 seconds to answer that?
He shut that down.
Yeah, John.
All right. We will be back after this message.
That was really good. I ain't gonna hold you. That was really, really good. That was really, really good. All right, y'all. So I gotta do some more James Baldwin reactions. I like how he talk. He's really, really smart. And I don't know if you triggered by that. Put it in the comment section. Tell me what you think. But I'm out.